What's up, guys? This is Tabletop Vibes, and today we're taking a look at Luthier by Patron Games. Jason, what did you think?
This game was amazing. Yeah, I probably move it. It's bigger than us here.
It's huge.
This game was absolutely amazing. It is what I consider a masterpiece.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, I was saying to Adam, if I could think of a perfect game, this is pretty much there. This is just glorious.
Yeah.
The artwork in of itself.
The artwork, yeah. The game's artwork is amazing itself, and the game as artwork is amazing
It's
itself.
absolutely amazing.
You know, we had a blast playing Luthier, getting to try it out. This is the first player token.
Yeah.
I think it's actually
conductor stick. No, it's your conductor stick.
You can use it as a violin stick. One of the two.
Doesn't know.
I don't play violin. I'm a percussionist, so that's as far as I got in music.
Viola, so. I know. So yeah, so in this game, you are a family of luthiers, and luthier is a person that creates an instrument, specifically a string instrument. Although you're doing a couple other things here too, but yeah, most
a wide variety.
Exactly. So you're a family, and you're going to be doing instruments from the Baroque era, the Classical era, and the Romance era. Yeah. And your goal is to satisfy patrons' requests.
Yes.
You have lots of patrons, all from history, where you have Beethoven or various kings
Bach.
Other conductors.
Yeah, you have royal patrons as well.
Yep. And you're trying to satisfy their requests
right,
in order to make them happy, give you lots of gifts, and give you bonuses each round for doing so, or maybe end game points.
Yeah. And so everybody takes a luthier, and there's a bunch of different ones to pick from. They on the back, they kind of give you some history, because the game is actually historic. And so then you also get your starting setup, whether it be
different goods,
wood, animal, and metal, because animal was used in resin and the bow.
Catgut on strings.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. It's a real thing, though. You got to use what you have. And so, yeah, you get your starting resources, you get your starting ability. When I played, I was the Brokewood.
Yeah,
I think house or luthier,
and then with an E. I don't remember.
Yeah, and mine was like double the patron bonus to start.
Right. So with mine, I started with some resources and also got my level 2 family member to start, because normally these get unlocked later in the game.
That was huge.
It goes 1 through 5. These represent your family members, and 5 is the most powerful, probably the patriarch of the family, and the 1 is somebody who probably just turned 11 and is going off and saying please, oh please.
Yeah, you're like, don't touch the expensive instruments, and that kid is not being. He's got the recorder.
Exactly. So as you can see, this is definitely a worker placement game. So on your to start the round, you get your round bonuses.
Yes.
Obviously, when you start the game, you don't have any of those because you haven't built your engine yet. And then you're going to advance your Patron markers.
Yes.
So
this is super cool.
Right. So with the patrons that you've put down, and you put 1 down to start with.
Right.
You advance a marker every single round, and you get bonuses. They'll give you stuff because they're like, ooh, okay, you need more time. Here's money.
It's like your benefactor.
Exactly. But if they get too far along in the track, they get upset. They run away.
Because you're taking too long to fulfill your prerequisites of like, hey, if you are a benefactor, we'll give you this, but we want this in return. Well, you're taking too long.
Right, and then they'll say bad things about you, so you lose some prestige.
Right.
How you disappointed them. You took everything and you gave them nothing.
Yeah, so it's in your best interest to make sure that they all stay happy.
Right. And on your patron card, again, you're going to have these prerequisites that they want. So this could be they want an instrument. They all want an instrument because that's the name of the game. Percussion, and strings. Yep. And then they may have some secondary requirements, and this could be also make another instrument of a certain type. This could be do a performance in their style. They'll have a certain style.
Yeah, like romance.
Right. This could be repair an instrument. So also there. So that's kind of what they're going for.
Right, and you put them on your player board. They got 3 slots because you can only have 3 patrons at a time, and each slot gives you some other benefit as well, like for money, extra resource, and or a apprentice, which is helpful for bidding because this is a worker placement, bidding, resource management,
area of control
game. And it all blends together just beautifully because everything syncs together.
Masterpiece is the right word here.
100%.
It is glorious.
So yeah, on your turn then, in turn order, based off of where your family or your luthier's number is, you'll see in there. But then you go first, and everybody places out their bidding tokens or their family
hidden.
Hidden, yeah. You don't get to see what someone's doing. Obviously, you know that they have a 1, a 3, and a 5 to start off with, or in Jason's case, he also has 2
for them.
And so you get more of those throughout the game through advancing rounds. So when you get to round 3, you can unlock one other one, and when you get to round 5, you'll unlock the last one.
Right.
But then you're placing these out in all different areas of the board, which you have. Jason?
Right. So, and you also add your apprentices that we got
if you get some
to them as well. That adds an extra point to them. So if you put out your 3, you put them with an apprentice, that's a 4. These can stack. So you're sending out your people and your apprentices all throughout the land. And you have lots of different places, the land, the city.
Yeah.
And these are all the different places that you have. So let's just start, you have the Salon.
Yes.
And with the Salon here, this is where all the royalty the patron, the who's who mingle.
Yes.
And they say, we have these requests and you need to fulfill them. So this is where you can get your patrons.
Right.
You choose a patron, some are free, some are cost.
Yep.
The higher ones, upper cost, they go down as the turns go on.
Right.
And then you put them on your board, you get that one-time bonus for putting them down, and that's how you get patrons on your board. You also in that location could get extra apprentices, or
inspiration.
Inspiration. There you go. These are your wilds,
Yes.
so you can kind of use these for anything in the game. Very useful
For the most part.
Very, very useful.
They subtract off costs from money, and they also go into what we talk about next, which is perform, which is awesome because obviously you're making instruments and you have people that want to hear them being played, so you have to perform. And my favorite is Jason rolled 3 dice. And there's tiers. So you the strength of the chip that's there, plus the roll of the music dice, which are really cool, is your total strength. And there's usually like tiers.
Plus any inspiration.
Plus any inspiration you can throw at it because you're like, oh, I can do this cool thing. And Jason had 3 dice to roll. We rolled it, and he got 2.
I got blanks on 2 of them.
So he did not. He hit the base level.
This was definitely a boo.
Boo,
terrible performance.
Yeah. Throwing tomatoes, everything, the whole gambit.
But they also throw you money too.
They
you actually do get something.
You still have to pay for the performance, even though the performance sucked.
Right. So you do get some money from this kind of consolation prize, but I didn't get to put out any special chips or anything like that.
Yeah, because you can put out a music chip, or you gain prestige.
Right. So that happens. Also in that location, if you don't want to do any performances, you can also get 3 of the animal tokens on there.
Yeah, resource. Because that's very helpful. Exactly. And also, if you put a 4 chip on it as well, you can get to move up the track.
Right, and we'll get to the track in a second. So the next thing we got is the guild.
Yeah.
You can't create instruments if you don't have any instruments. So with the guild, you are going to be picking up instruments, and just like the Salon with the benefactors, the first one or more are free in a higher player game. The next ones are going to cost you some money or some inspiration. And when you get these, you put them into your hand, and at the start of your turn, you can lay one down on the left side of your board, which is your roughing part of your board.
Yeah, you gotta
Exactly. So that's kind of what you do for your instrument section.
Right.
And then after that, you also can do a repair. That's another section. So, you use the instruments for a while, it'll kind of break, get a little scuffed.
Because you're practicing.
Exactly.
You can't just go to be a first chair and perform without practicing.
Right, so you also can repair some instruments. This is relatively straightforward. Similar layout, you take the card and you have to pay the necessary resources on the card, and you get the various bonuses on the card. They can also be used to fulfill the requirements on your patrons.
Right.
So, and also for the guild, that's where you can get some money instead of taking instruments. Metal. And then the repair is the wood. You can get wood instead of taking.
Yes.
So there's all the locations on the board, you can get resources for that.
And then if you have enough strength in each location based off your chip play, it does a better play, which then you can take both of those actions. There's a main action and a secondary action for every site that's on here.
Right. So it definitely behooves you to place your higher locations, but you only have so many, so you have to decide where to go.
Because you can't play everything, but you're trying to be very strategic on where you place, when you place, and when you flip to reveal what place.
Yes, that's critical as well, because sometimes you need to flip something to get the resources to do something else. Or you could take the reverse. If somebody is going there, you go, I'm going to flip that first because I know you can't satisfy that.
Messing up their
there's a little bit of hate drafting.
There's a lot of AP in the game. There's a lot of hate drafting, and there's a ton of strategy. And again, it all seamlessly meshes together.
Right. And even though you can go to these locations to get resources, that is not where you want to go.
You want to go to the market. The market's ever changing. Every round it changes based off how much goods you can buy or sell and what the cost is for each one: animal, wood, and metal. And so that's very cool. You can do it once per round. you can buy and sell, but you get to buy one good and sell a different good. You can't do the same good.
Yeah, good. So that's the most efficient way to do it. You don't need to spend any sort of guy to do this.
Yeah.
It's just in action, kind of.
So utilizing the market action in between your actions, because you can only take it while you're placing out your workers. You can't take it in the resolution stage. And which brings us to the resolution stage.
Right. The workbench. I forgot about the workbench.
Yes.
Yeah, the workbench, kind of the critical thing. So you're going to be bringing all these resources home through public actions, getting all these instruments, getting everything else, and then you have your workbench in front of you. Everybody has their own workbench. You're the only one that can place it because it's your homestead. And it has two sides to it. It has the left side, which is the roughing board. And with this is where you're going to put down your instruments, and it has a resource cost on them that needs to be fulfilled, to kind of start getting that instrument together, banging that hammer, sawing the wood, doing all that stuff. Yeah, doing the sanding. And then once you fulfill the requirements, you move it to the right side of the board, and that is the finishing side. And you need to put workers in both slots in order to do each one.
To utilize it.
Right. So with that one...
Which, the crazy part is they're now not in the public actions that we just talked about. Now they're here. So you only have a certain amount of family members and discs to throw out. And so when to place and when not to.
Right. So more requirements of finishing. Again, you got to put that shine on. You got to do that little bit of touch-up sanding.
Lacquer.
Little paint, And
finishing touches.
Then you finish it. And then if you have a patron that requires an instrument, you get to fulfill that requirement with it. So that's kind of the sequence.
Which then he or she flips, giving you bonuses for every starter round or for every time you take this action or whenever you fulfill a perform action. And so it becomes this engine that every round you get to be able to utilize these patrons even more so when they are flipped over.
Right. So now that you put everything out, now is the resolution phase. This is where everything starts to flip up and chaos ensues.
Right. And so the person whose first turn it is, or the person who's first, wow, that was really rough to say, you then will select where you want to resolve, and then based on priority, which there's a cool little priority board, it's like a guitar head.
Yes, yes it is. It's the resolution board. So basically, first come, first serve. So if you're first, you break tie breaks, but if somebody comes behind you with a higher score, then they're going to move ahead of you.
Right.
And whoever has the highest score that's there gets to choose from the available options first.
Right, exactly. And so then if you can also play twice at the same location with two different chips, and you can be have a 5, and you can have a 1, and someone can have a 3. Well, Jason would move up, I would take my action, Jason would take his action, I would take my second.
Exactly. Now, we forgot about the balcony. So balcony was another public location we totally forgot about. So with this one, this is kind of cool. You go there and you can get a bunch of money.
$6.
Yep. You can get a bunch of apprentices for free, or you can also fulfill one of the public goals.
2 apprentices for free.
And the public goals are, again, first come, first serve. Once you put down, you can't go to the same public goal. And once you put a placement, nobody else can go there. So again, little balance, but that's not all. When you go there, you actually take it from your workbench, little tokens, to put up there, and you unlock special abilities.
Yeah, you can only hold 9 resources typically, and it makes you be able to hold 12 now.
And you get an extra good at the start of your turn.
Exactly, because there's a little flame icon that goes around it's a round tracker, but it indicates the start of the round. You can also get Royal Patron, which there's a deck based off how many people are playing +1, and you get to select them to choose to put into your patrons that are helping you.
And they mostly kind of give you prestige, like ongoing prestige. If you fulfill them, they give you prestige bonus. They're all about prestige, it seems. There's the ones what we saw.
And then the last thing is rolling the purple die, which gives you a bunch of different goods when you take the perform action, which is huge.
Right. It's the, here, here's my money, please. Take my goods. I don't want them.
Exactly. And it's just a way to get more things quicker without having to send your workers to different locations.
Right. So once you've done that, you've resolved everything around the board, then you just do a cleanup action, and then the next turn starts all over again. The starting turn doesn't change unless people go into the balcony, and then again...
one other thing we didn't talk about is when you fulfill an instrument, you get to put out an instrument token into... like essentially where all the orchestra sits. Where the orchestra sits.
Exactly.
And so based off of, you can have a rare instrument, which takes precedent, has a diamond on it. It goes up into the diamond slot. And then depending on what kind of instrument it is, wind, percussion, or string, you can go into that location, and then you play there, taking the goods and then getting first chair.
Right. So it's not just instruments that go there. You also put tokens on there.
Music tokens.
Yep. Music tokens for performances, or like hammer tokens for repair.
Tokens. Yep.
And this is where the area of control aspect comes in the game. So again, it is another first come, first serve. Everything is first come, first serve. And you get those first chair bonuses, but somebody else that either has more of the minor tokens or a major token. The difference is the major tokens are the instruments, because that's what all this is about. You make an instrument, you're better than everybody else.
Yes.
And
you can play it.
This is the fighting for the first chair. You get the first chair bonuses. If you go there after the fact, you get some minor consolation prize.
You get $2 or an inspiration token. Right. It's good. It's just not great.
Right. And mostly the reason why this is good is that at the end of the game, you are going to get points equivalent to how much of the first chairs that you have, as well as you have some secret endgame goals that you're hiding onto that. This should help in that aspect as well. Kind of where you go. So yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the quick-ish overview of this game, but it is seriously a blast. I mean, we had a ton of fun. I lost by 7 whole points.
Yep.
If you do lose, as I have done in this game, you get this little tiny baby violin, because it's the smallest violin in the world, and so it's
playing just for you.
It's just playing just for you, aka me in this game, because I lost. I mean, it's such a blast to play, and then at the same time, there's so much strategy.
There is so much strategy with this game.
In a good way.
In a great way. I got a little bit of a headache afterwards. That's how I know I was having a good time.
That's how he has a good time, by the way. It's the headache.
And it's truly a masterpiece. Like what I said before, it's absolutely right. We started playing this back at Gen Con 2023. We did a demo version of it, and it was good there. And now their finished product here,
which is still a prototype,
is just glorious.
But it's beautiful.
I looked through this. I couldn't find a single flaw with this game. I mean, played lots of games. Every little thing has been meticulously planned. Oh, we forgot about when you go to places, you can also upgrade little sections that give you more bonuses in those sections throughout the game. More black dice, more specialty tokens, higher values for certain areas. I mean,
being able to do two roughings twice, or building.
Right. There's just so much here, and it always feels like you're doing something. No matter what you're doing, you're always forward progressing.
Even if someone beats you out of a spot, you're still winning.
Right. And if you can't do it, you get $2. So it's always something with this game. And again, the strategy is just very intertwined into just a wonderful game.
And the theme comes through so much. I mean, obviously, right? You've seen the box; it's beautiful. The art is beautiful, but like it comes through in the game, so amazingly. Where like you feel like you're a luthier, and I'm like, hey, I'm crafting this instrument. And you get done, you're like, check it out.
I'm so glad I played this game.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Made a clarinet, or viola, or violin, or some. I had a piano. That was a huge one I had to craft. That one was really fun.
There you go.
Took a long time to craft.
There you go.
But yeah, and you're gaining all these famous people through history. Bach, Beethoven, and or learning
Victoria.
Right. Or learning more about history in the process. And so it's a beautiful game.
Beautiful game.
It's currently out on Kickstarter, so make sure you definitely check them out if you haven't already. Obviously, this game is massive and it's huge and it's everywhere. We love it. Also, Luthier
shirts.
So again, check out Paverson Games. It's beautiful. We're Tabletop Vibes. Like, subscribe, comment on your favorite instrument or composer.
Composer is Tchaikovsky without a doubt. Instrument, even though I played the viola, you have to say the accordion, because
that is a fun one.
I can't not.
I don't know, I like Beethoven, and I play percussion and drums. And I wish I could play guitar so I can shred.
Cowbell. There you go.
I got a fever. And we're Tabletop Vibes. We'll check you next time.
Gotta have more cowbell.